How a launch isn't what you need most. Welcome to the PT Profit Podcast. We're bringing back something we published back in June 2024 about how to make sales every day without launching. Let's dive in.
This is one of the episodes that I created called How to Make Sales Every Single Day Without Launching. Now, people sometimes hear this episode or they hear that statement and they think to themselves, this means I need to be selling all the time, so on and so forth. So, we'll be addressing some of those misconceptions in today's episodes. And if you want to hear the full, complete 10K blueprint, then be sure to check the show notes because we'll make sure that we link it up inside of the show notes so that you can hear all of the episodes. It's completely free to help you hit those consistent 10K months. We even have a practice sheet for you to help implement some of the information that we're addressing inside of the training. So without further ado, let's roll that training. Here we go, the final training, the one that pulls it all together, the complete 10K per month and beyond blueprint formula. In this training, this is how we're going to make sales every day on autopilot, make sales, make revenue, generate new audience members, new prospects, and new clients and customers. Here's how we're going to pull it all together. And if you've made it all the way through this training, thank you. I'm so grateful. I hope it was incredibly powerful for you. It'd be a huge favor to me if you would share with your friends, someone that you know who would get a lot out of this training. It would be a huge benefit to me. Please share with us on your socials some of your biggest takeaways, ahas, or you can send an email at info@bsimpsonfitness.com. That would be a huge, huge gift to me if this has helped you in any way. So thank you so much for hanging out. Now, this training, it might be a little bit, if you're a visual learner, it might be hard to navigate what it is that I'm talking about. So if you need the visuals, then definitely join me inside of our weekly training. We do simple scaling because when I break down this part, sometimes it's easier to see the flow of the process exactly of how we build out the fitness funnels that actually convert with your conversion content formulas and so on and so forth, and how we actually build out 90 days of content within, literally 1 to 3 hours. Now, if you have our process in terms of I have a offer that actually shows you how to build out 90 days of content in 1 hour of time, like I literally built it out for you and I showed you how to do it without sacrificing your voice. It really pulls all these components together. Then this part might feel a little bit familiar for you, but I'm going to show you how I did that, how it works, and how it comes together. And so if you need the visual components, so definitely check the show notes because all of your best next steps, depending on where you are right now, are all available to you in the show notes. So the biggest question to take a look at is, well, how do we put this all together? Because one of the biggest misconceptions left is just post every day. Just post every day is not a business strategy. No, I get it. No one can buy from the internet's best kept secret. And if you've been following along, you've likely heard me talk about the growth equation of visibility, value, and volume. So I get why people tell you to just show up to just post. But yet, if posting every day was all we needed to do, then we would all be celebrating our biggest revenue month to date, flying around on personal jets. And I probably don't have to tell you that that's not happening. So then how do we build out this pressure-free, permission-based sales system where you generate revenue every single day, even while you're sleeping, and you get paid to acquire leads, and you do it in a way where you don't need to rely on hard-style sales tactics? So here's what the customer journey looks like in terms of the machine components, okay? And so I like to build these types of machines. I like to build these pressure-free sales systems in 4 phases. This is where we design it, we deliver it, we scale it, and then we automate it. So what does that look like? It means that the first thing that we're going to do, and we're going to work from the end in mind, is that we are going to build out the premium offer that you want to be known for. Maybe you already have that and it's already converting and you just automatically want to get into the scale it phase. Okay. That great. Some people have come into Accelerator ready to scale, and then we just set up the systems to scale. Some people are literally starting from the ground up. Some people, if you're anything like me, you come from this place of like, well, it was working and now it's not working. So let me just go back to see what is the problem or the issue that we can re-look at, because no one just arrives. Everything is always about how can we build it, get the result, and then test and tweak it to automate it, to make it better, to make it more efficient. You know, as we notice that the landscape is changing and people are changing and things aren't the way that it used to be 5 years, it's a good thing. We just need to rely on the principles that we have talked about, the offers, the communication of the offers. And then now we're going to layer in the sales system that is a systematic plan where you can literally bring in people who've never heard of you before systematically and carry them through this customer journey so that you generate sales on autopilot. So what does that look like? Okay. And then what I love about this is that it's principle based and it stands the test of time. This is what people were doing from back in the day. Okay, from the beginning, I'm willing to bet. Okay. So now we've got this premium offer stack that we're designed, we've built it out. And now we're going to stress test it, or we're going to look for the ways that we can upgrade it, that we can make it more irresistible, that we can, it takes me back to the Jane Fonda example, right? Remember, like, I can't remember who it was, but the Thigh Master, she put it on the map by upgrading the offer and by packaging it and communicating it in a different way than when it was first released to the market space. Okay. And so we need to look at the offer. It all stems from the offer. So then we design it and then we go back to the deliver it phase. Now, 3% of your audience. So I like to call this the rapid lean launch. So 3% of your audience and your network they are ready to buy and they're ready to buy now. So if 3% of the 3% see your stuff, this is why we execute a 7 to 14 day rapid lean launch, where we are introducing this brand new offer and inviting people to come into the sales mechanism where they can have a very value forward conversation around whether or not this method, this program is worth it or at the right time for them at this moment. It will be worth it. It'll be their opportunity to decide if they're ready for it now. So we do the 7 to 14 day process to stress test the offer to generate a cash influx. Okay. And so then we begin to scale it. And the scaling process looks like, you have your content. So I call it the top of funnel content, your social media content, which is depending on where you want to build. This is your opportunity to go wide, to test messaging, and also to deepen the connection between people who've never heard of you before, and to actually talk to a human being and move to the sales conversation as opposed to everything being automated. That's why I call it a semi-automated process, because while you can do a lot of things with a robot, with ManyChat, and so on and so forth, people want the human connection. And when you can talk to people faster, the better off you're going to be, right? Yeah, sure, you can sell in the DM. Sure, you can sell in the emails. Sure, you can sell a one-to-many, but people want to feel seen and they want to feel heard. So even if you're small and starting off, right? What are you have white glove components that other bigger accounts and bigger businesses don't have. Now, I'm not saying we need to pedestal ourselves, but what I'm saying is that your access to time and your ability to connect with people in the DMs is your superpower. Because I'm telling you right now, as a client of really big people, if I slide into their DMs, Kim Kardashian is not DMing me back. Okay. But this is your superpower. You have this ability to deepen the connection faster. So now your SEO content, this is your long form content, your ability to go deeper. And then you go into the front end offer. So this is when we start to scale. Okay. So the front end offer is your combination. This is what I call the fitness funnels. And inside of my world, depending on where you are, there's a couple of opportunities. We teach free offers or free funnels and paid funnels, meaning people either buy a low ticket offer and then they come to the call and then they go to get presented the premium offer. And if they decide not to, great. It just means not yet. And then you have people that come in through my free offerings, and then they get presented with the sales mechanism. And if they decide not yet, great. They can go to the lower ticket offers. Now, it doesn't mean that they're low value. It's just so that we can put the right person in front of the right offer at the right time. And when you do this, you can offset all of your ad spend and you can offset all of the time invested. In fact, because I have people and I'm putting people in the right place at the right time, this allows me the opportunity to provide more resources to the people who need it. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And even if you were building a nonprofit or a charity, the number one thing that you would do is fundraise to generate the resources needed to give back. And I'm with Chris Harder on this, that money and resources is an amplifier of who you already are. And so I believe that good people, when they have resources, they will put good back into the world. Just as people who it already amplifies who you already are. And that's what I stand for. So in fact, the more resources that we have is the more resources we can give back to people, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And so then we build this out. So we have free experiences where it's PDF downloads, it's free trainings, one-to-many trainings, many-to-many trainings. And we invite them into a sales mechanism, which invites them to buy, where we have this sales conversation. It's not that they don't know that the offer doesn't exist. Of course they know that the offer exists. We're not trying to pretend that the offer doesn't exist. It's just we're not having a sales conversation yet around what are the access to resources, the money, what's the best option for me. We're not having that sales conversation. And then when it's time to have the sales conversation, then we will. And so this is what we build out. So and then we also have the low ticket offers, and then it works like a machine, because if someone says no to the premium offer, great. Maybe they're right for the lower ticket offer, the do it yourself offer. And then if they realize that they need help or are ready to get into a more customized approach, then they can move into the premium offer stage. And then this is what creates an offer where it is literally, it works until it works. And you can say yes until they say yes. Because what this means is scaling. When you're ready to scale, it is going to require guessing, testing, assessing, and it's going to require cash. It's going to require time. It's going to require resources. And so if you have an opportunity or way to completely make your ad budget offset or ad budget zero, meaning you get paid to acquire a lead. So anywhere from, $25 to $65 you invest to get a buyer, but every time you invest that money, you make $65 back. Then the faster you get to be in the number one position, which is volume, because now you have $0 ad budget. You're getting paid to acquire leads. Leads are coming in every single day, and you're moving them into a sales mechanism and into the premium offer. And then this allows you the time freedom to actually create more options that are free and accessible to call in the people who are ready for your process. So what does this look like? So for example, if we look in my business, we have the top of funnel content that invites people to come into the front end offer. So the front end offer is, you can come into the blueprint, you can get the conversion content, you can come to simple scaling. You can also just get the 90 days done for you content. These are all in the middle. These are all the funnels that we have to help you get wins, to help you see you need support if you do, and to help demonstrate that we'll do whatever we can to help you get your results. Okay. And then when the time is right, we'll invite you to come into a DM conversation, an email conversation, or a call conversation where we can talk about the premium options that are going to be the best for you. Now, the reason why I love doing it in this way is because when you have a pressure-free sales system and a permission-based sales system, we don't ask you or invite you to buy unless you want to, unless you want to learn more about it. That's number one. And then number two is that we don't need to practice hard style sales tactics because our business is generating revenue all the time to offset ad spend. So we can literally just continue to invite people to say yes to themselves when they're ready. And this all comes down to the data. And then this allows me to also create the free options. And so inside of Accelerator and Mind Containers, the 5 fitness funnels that we teach you, literally the step-by-step process is the freebie funnel to call, is the one-to-many training as a front-end offer or sales mechanism, or the many-to-many trainings, or so a one-to-many is like a webinar, a Facebook Live, wherever you are collecting emails and wherever you are inviting them into the sales mechanism. Or if you're going to use one-to-many as the sales mechanism, this is when you're doing a webinar training and then inviting somebody to buy. That's the only difference. It's not that we're pretending that there's nothing to buy. It's just we're making a case for whatever we want that next step to be. Then the second, we also teach many to many. So if you're doing a challenge or a 3-part live event, whether it's the front end offer or the sales mechanism, we also do a direct call. You can direct book, like get on the call. This is your issue. We also do, and you want help on this. Okay, those are the processes, step by step, literally nuts to bolts, exactly what to do, including all these templates. Those are all inside for you inside of Accelerator. Because this is how we start to build out the process so that you can design it, deliver it, stress test it, and then scale it, and then automate it and start to work yourself out of the business. This is what we are working on in our time together. Okay. And so what I like to do is I like to use a combination of paid traffic as well as conversion content system, which is organic traffic, and they work synergistically together. This is how you begin to stay top of mind. Now, some people will argue that you can only use organic traffic to generate 10K. That's true. Some people have a little bit more risk, or some people say you have to stress test 10K, and then as soon as you get 10K, then you can use ads. Well, I am from the school of thought that because for me, I needed the ads to help me hit my first 10K just because I didn't have the visibility or the volume of leads. So what I did was I stress tested my offer and I had some conversion data that showed me that this offer is converting and doing well. So then I started to fuel it with ads. And then that was when I started to get my 10K and then scale beyond to consistent 40K. And this is exactly the process that's going to take me to 7 and 8 figures. Okay. And it's really just a matter now of leads and having the fulfillment support to execute on that. That's what we're doing. And that's where we're at. And it starts with making sure that we set up the business first to be able to handle it as we scale. Because one of the mistakes that I made was that I built my business bootstraps. Like I went all in, I did everything that I possibly could. And then when I went to scale, it wasn't set up correctly because I didn't have the math behind my 6 and 7 figure business work. Now for you, you're setting this up correctly. And so now you're going to, and correctly is the strong word, but you're going to set this up in a way that's aligned, that's going to work because all paths lead to Rome. That's what this is about, is figuring out what is the hybrid sales system that's going to work for you. And when you get all these components dialed in, this is an example of what my mentor says. If you can hit 10K like this, then you can hit 100K per month. And all of those assets will work for you. And when you set this up, your machine to work in this way until it works, then you just keep guessing, testing, and assessing and relying on the data and being discerning around the data to make data-driven decisions. So do I think that people need to generate 10K before they use ads? No, but I do think that if you set up your business in a design it, deliver it, and scale it, and then automate it phase, that you will protect your profit and that you will be set up to scale the most efficient way possible when you implement these 4 essential sales systems. Now, what's the fourth one? It's emotional regulation. The fourth one is the skill and the support. The fourth one is how fast can you get back from no, and how fast can you acquire the skill? Because no one gets to skip steps. But the good news is that you can do as many reps as possible, as fast or as slow as you want. And you don't have to do it without support. In fact, can you point to a single $1 million business that did it without support? Because I can't. And if it weren't for the support of my team, my friends, my colleagues, and my business mentors, there's no way I would be where I would be today without it. Because business isn't built in a vacuum. And if you want the shortcut, if you want to maximize leverage, learn the lessons from people who have been there before you, because success leaves clues. So we've had people inside of Accelerator who have just wanted to use organic strategies only, and they have made anywhere from 40 to 50K using the current audience that they have now, and then spending the time implementing the conversion formula that we talk about inside of our programs to get to whatever revenue that they want to get to, even without paid ads. Then we have people inside of Accelerator that use paid ads to fuel the fitness funnels that we talk about inside of our programs to get to 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, whatever. The sky is the limit, but the principles remain. So if you've made it this far in the training, then chances are you're serious about leaving struggle behind and ready to be successful and scale your business. So the main takeaway from our time together is that you need to implement the 4 systems to scale inside of your business if you want to start generating and scaling revenue the fastest, most efficient way possible. The problem that so many coaches face when they're growing a profitable business is they're likely missing one or more levels of mastery in one or more of these components: the profitable product, the powerful position, the purposeful plan. And it's usually because they're either lacking strategy, systems, or support, or skill, and sometimes the ability to be discerning in what the data is actually telling them. This is why having support to identify blind spots and to remove roadblocks is essential when building a business. So now if you've made it this far in the training, then chances are you're serious about leaving struggle behind and ready to be successful and start and scale your business the fastest, most efficient way possible. So if that's you, the obvious question then is, what's next? And so if you're curious about how specifically we implement this process and whether or not this will work for you, then hang with me for just a few more minutes, because you can either do it the slow way through trial and error by taking some of what I've given you here throughout this process, or you can do it the fastest way using the formula with our help inside of PT Profit Formula Accelerator. This is specifically designed to help you implement and take a simple step-by-step proven process to instantly implement to generate at least 110K a month in our time together, or you don't pay. Literally, we will refund you if you don't hit 10K in our time together. So because of our guarantee, we need to have a conversation around whether or not this process at this time will be right for you, given your unique circumstances. So if you already know that you're curious about this and you want to go deeper, then definitely let me invite you into our custom profit plan, where we can discuss your current situation and whether or not this process will work for you at this time or what's the best option for you. Okay. So if you already know that you're ready to have that conversation, then come book your profit plan. We have very special bonuses for people who decide to say yes to themselves and for people who show up to the call. So all of those components are laid out in the show notes, and also they'll be laid out in the discussion of the call. So definitely, if you already know that you're ready, then go in, then book your profit plan. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain, because it's literally it is against our company mission and values to put any pressure on anyone. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Now, if you're still curious about how specifically this process works, well, I could tell you how powerful this is, but let me show you, because we've had clients that have gone from gone from 35K to turn their side hustle into 75K when she was going to school full time, doing clinical hours, and she had 1 hour of time a week. We've had a mom who was working part time, generating 150K. We also took a client who was working 200, and she was generating 250K, and we halved her work hours without a team and using 0 ads. So the goal of our time together is to systematically and sustainably scale your business to 6 or multiple 6 figures and beyond without adding more work to your days, practicing hard style, sleazy sales tactics that do not work. So here's how we do this. The step 1 is we create the right offer stack that is set up to sustainably scale with a combination of premium, accessible front end and free offers so that they are easy to sell and fun to deliver. Next, we move into the deliver it phase, where we use free resources to drive ideal champagne clients into conversion conversations through email, DM, or call. And then once we stress test this offer, we then build an automated sales system using a combination of paid strategies and organic strategies to systematically bring in new leads and turn them into clients without being sleazy, pushy, or selly. And then we rinse and repeat to optimize to hit whatever scale that you want to hit. And we move through so that we can do this without burning out your capacity. And then we begin to work yourself out of the business and continue to scale up. That's it. It's a step-by-step proven evergreen process to help you make sales every day in your zone of genius, combined with the speed of scale and sustainable practices, so you get out of that unpredictable feast or famine financial cycle of death of launching, and you stop working 12 to 18-hour days, and you do it without being pushy, sleazy, or begging for clients. I'll show you how to turn your science skills into sales and do it without being sleazy, so that you can keep doing what you love, focus on what really matters, and help you build a profitable business in the health and wellness space online, not just another job that you hate. So if you have a service or a program that you're already getting great results for in person or online, and a combination of both, this is for you. If you feel like your business has hit a plateau in sales and you're at a ceiling financially, emotionally, with effort and time-wise, then this is for you. If you know your business could be more profitable, but you're not sure how to do it without adding more hours to your already packed schedule, this is for you. And if you're ready and want to grow your audience and impact and ready to reach a much bigger audience, this is for you. And if you're new and you are ready to put in the work and you are ready to acquire the skills and you're willing to be a beginner and know that the growth cycle for you might take a little bit of time, but you're ready to let it just take whatever time it's going to take, because you're ready to just do what it takes to make it work. And you're willing to move through potentially uncomfortable conversations at a fast pace, then this is for you. Now, I'll tell you that this is not for you if you are wondering whether or not you're ready to start a business, or you don't have your own case study, or you have 0 client success stories, or you're still struggling to figure out if you even want to do this in your life, if you don't have any experience in the health and wellness space, it's not that this process won't work for you. It's just that I specialize in health and wellness, and it's easier for me to use health and wellness and to deal with health and wellness. And so it's not that the process won't work for you. It's just that I might not necessarily be the mentor for you. And if you're here looking for a no work, quick fix where you put in the least amount of effort possible and you want to turn your computer into an ATM and you feel like you are expecting exponential results with mediocre effort, then this is likely not for you. So what we do when you first come on board is when you come on board, you get instant access to a detailed curriculum that is literally step by step, takes you by the hand so that you exactly what to do day to day, week to week, month to month in the context of your goal. We will first take a look at your proven strategic plan for results so that we can actually help you start getting results and generating cash within the 7 to 14 days that you start working with us. In fact, one of our clients, he generated 10K in 5 days by putting together a premium offer and 1 week of the rapid lean launch. We had another client that generated 18K in 30 days by putting in this process in place. Then in addition, you will get on-demand daily support with our skills labs where you can practice acquiring the skills with us instead of practicing on your leads. And then you also have relentless accountability through customized and community support. Never will you be lost in a sea of group coaching hot seats that last for 4 hours. You will actually get one-on-one customized support through an accountability coach, helping you be responsible and keep track of your progress every single week. Plus, we have a ton of bonuses like 40 days to abundance, mindset mastery. We have the emotional regulation private podcast. We have virtual events and bonuses with top leading experts in their own personal space, both in the health and wellness side, so the science of training, nutrition, and coaching, as well as the marketing side. So this isn't just some gimmicky learn the new funnel or learn the new social media platform. It's the exact blueprint for marketing, messaging, and business that transcends. It's exactly what I've done for my business and also my clients. In fact, one of my clients, we started from zero and we got her from 0 to 160K in 8 months. So even if you feel like I don't have a list, I don't have a big following, listen, you're not alone. And if you're still here, there's a reason why, because chances are what you're doing now isn't working. And do you really want to continue down the path of struggle when you can have all the revenue and freedom and support now? Because if that's you, I can't wait to work with you and help you step into clarity and confidence for good. And so even if you feel like the support group is a little bit too intense for you, we have so many other options that might be a good fit for you. So if you have any questions at all and you just need a little bit of clarity and guidance, then click the link inside of the show notes and schedule your custom profit plan. My intention is to keep this audio training timeless. So undoubtedly, we have bonuses, specials, anything and everything that's running right now at the time that you are listening to this will be updated inside of the show notes. So even if you're on the fence, even in the slightest, definitely book your custom profit plan because that clarity will get answered for you. So thank you so much for hanging out with me in this training. I hope it was helpful. It was my intention to provide you as much actionable implementation components that you can take action right now. And of course, if you have any questions, come find me in social. Thank you. I'll catch you in the next training.